synthesize a Simarus target without using traps or abilities, while having a Hobbled Dragon Key equipped, without taking damage. My particular target is a generic Bombard, and Lex on Ceres is the easiest place to find one. Even though the conditions of the Riven mod state that abilities cannot be used, this is not enforced until the challenge description appears at the bottom of the screen. This means that any ability can be cast before this threshold is reached, assuming you have the energy to do so. Because of this feature, 2 frames are particularly suited for this challenge. The first is Avara, whom can both go invisible and pickpocket energy from enemies with her Prowl ability, and Rhino, who can negate massive damage with his iron skin without it actually counting as receiving damage. In this situation, sprint speed is severely reduced by the Hobbled Dragon Key, which forces us to rely on parkour maneuvers, which in turn could have an impact on which frame we choose. Because of the movement limitations associated with Prowl, Ivara cannot bullet jump, and must instead roll everywhere to maintain maximum speed. However, Rhino is not limited by his iron skin, and can both bullet jump and roll, making him much faster. But because iron skin is an ability that can be expired, you only have the one initial cast protecting you until the target has been scanned. With Ivara, you can continue until your energy runs dry. There are pros and cons for each frame, and the mission type could also affect which you would choose. I personally use Ivara and always go to capture missions, as I can easily capture the target just by rolling. But if, for whatever reason, you end up in a mission type that required mass killing such as Exterminate, Rhino could be the better choice as he could continuously spin attack with a large radius melee weapon, which is something Ivara can't do whilst in Prowl. If you have trouble scanning the points on a moving target, bringing a weapon that can reliably cause cold or blast procs is a good idea, as you can continuously slow or stun lock them without casting any abilities. I prefer cold, as a slow-moving enemy is usually easier to predict than one that is constantly trying to stand when it's being repeatedly knocked down. I discharge a loud weapon to alert the enemy, making this demonstration somewhat realistic. If you are fortunate enough to have a stupid target, I suggest scanning it immediately and not alerting it as I just did. Challenge completed. Nice and easy. Of course, to utilize these methods you will likely need to activate a few energy pads at the beginning of the mission. It is possible to abort after the challenge has been completed and the Riven will still be unlocked, but if you decide to head to extraction, taking damage is no longer a concern. I had intended to add Limbo to this list, but apparently he can't scan targets across planes of existence. I also attempted to make use of the Hara's Q-Brow's invisibility precept, but it seemed to disengage the moment you begin scanning, causing enemies to attack and cause damage, which fails the challenge. Range is mostly unimportant, enough efficiency and duration to achieve minimum energy drain on Prowl is ideal. Maximum strength and armor to buff iron skin as much as possible. Any weapon capable of causing cold or blast procs is fine, though things such as the turret or pox have an advantage as they can refresh the proc automatically. Increasing status duration is useful, and suppressing the weapon is particularly important if you are using the Ivara method. Good luck.